having a network of like-minded individuals is vital to your success, not just producer, but in life. You got to be around like-minded people that have aspirations, that have dreams, that are willing to work hard. Now, everybody can't do the same thing, so you may need to surround yourself with somebody with people who fulfill different pieces of that pie. Somebody who's always inspired, somebody who's always getting their hands dirty, ready to work. You always want to put yourself in a situation where you're not the smartest person in the room.
One, two, yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, sir, you are tuned in. This is for the SB1200, ASR 10s and NPC heroes. This is for the crate digging, loop getting, sound manipulators, the Fruity Loop reasoning machine innovators that pump the bass and frequently freak the kick in a stand till it slaps in your speakers. The sound providers that make sure the song is tight. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding life. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding life.
Welcome to the Beats Grinding Life podcast with your host, Siren, a weekly interview podcast with inspiring music producers, where every week you will learn from a different music producer how to potentially take your music career to the next level.
Today's episode of Beats Grinding Life is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audio download and 30-day free trial at beatsbooks.com. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Some recommended readings by past Beats Grinding Life guests like 48 Laws of Power, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Secret, Tools of Titans, and The Song Machine are all available with Audible. Once again, go to beatsbooks.com to get your free book. What's up, Beat Grinders? This is Siren Beats, the host of this podcast, Beats Grinding Life, a podcast dedicated to educating, connecting, and guiding producers of all levels all around the world. And with us this week, we have Double A.
Yep. What's going on, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yourself?
I'm pretty awesome, man. Just grateful, man. Excited to be here on the show.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Well,
Big deal.
We are excited to have you, man. You're kind of a big deal, so. All right, y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Double A is an up-and-coming producer that is native to Clayton, New Jersey. I mean, maybe he's up-and-coming, maybe not. He may have already arrived. The Bounce Gang affiliate has caught the attention of many influential people within the industry. He has recently been awarded by iStandard Producers as having the best beat of 2018. If that's not enough, he is a 6-time iStandard Producer Showcase winner. His credits include Double XL, DS Quattro, Charles Roman, and many more. He has an instrumental album available now on all streaming platforms entitled Legendary Defenders, so you guys go cop that. And he also has one on the way on May 17th called Watch the Stones, so you guys be looking out for that. Yo, Double A, man, it's a pleasure to have you up on here. Like I said, man, thank you for coming to Beats Grinding Life, man.
Oh, man, I'm humbled, man. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, man, no doubt. Pleasure's all mine, man. I just gave the Beat Grinders a little taste of who you are, man. Why don't you just expand on that intro and maybe give them a fun fact that we would never know about you?
Oh, do I want to do that? Well, let's see. They call me Thanos in real life now, so that's kind of sticking.
That's tight.
I'm 6'7", so.
Are you really?
Yeah. So I guess you can imagine I get the Infinity Gauntlet jokes all day.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, it makes me want to hear the instrumental album a little more. That's dropping on the 17th.
Oh yeah, Watch the Stones. Yeah, it's going to be pretty dope.
Some dope features it looks like too.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a wavy ride.
Nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, man. Well, it's a way. you just mentioned it's a wavy ride, and that's how we can describe most of our production careers, as a wavy ride, man. And so I want to know, before you got on that ride, how did this all start out for you? What made you want to get into music production, and then before that, what made you just even take an interest in music?
So, interest in music, for me, that journey starts back to my home church. My aunt and cousins, I had family members who played, organ, drums, and it was my Uncle Jeff. He put drumsticks in my hand at 2. I was just captivated by the music. And then I came up under my cousin, just watching him play every Sunday, and I was a church kid for real. So I was in church all day Sunday, all week. So
right.
That done, you kind of find something that you gravitate to, that you like about it. And for me, it was the music.
Nice.
So I followed my cousin around everywhere, and he kind of took me under his wing, and he started making beats himself. He had a little setup at my aunt and uncle's house in the basement behind the steps. He had a Cubase, he had like a Roland sound module, he had like a SP sampler, and I would come over and I would just sit there and watch him, and he would just show me the ropes.
Nice.
And, I made my first beat, and I was kind of hooked ever since then. But I went away to school. I was playing basketball, so I put it aside. But I pulled my hamstring, and then I found myself back at it again. I went to a session with him, and that bug never left. I just fell in love with music all over again. I started out on Reason 2.0.
Okay.
And that's been it for me ever since.
That's dope, man. That's a dope story right there, man. I mean, there's so much to take in, man. I mean, we can start off with the church. There's so many musicians, producers, singers that have all got their start from the church, and it sounds like you're the same. You started off with the drums at 2 years old. How much has that helped your game out now? Do you feel like you have an advantage on people when it comes to drums, or do your drums stand out? Do a lot of people tell you that your drums stand out in your production?
Yeah, that's usually the first thing I hear, that my drum program is crazy. That's usually the first comment that I get. My drums knock, and my programming is crazy.
That's dope. Nice. Okay. Well, for somebody that didn't get to start off with the drums as young as you, what kind of advice would you have for them to get their drums to knock? I mean, without getting all technical or anything, is it just a matter of just practicing and just getting on it every day, or is there something else to it?
So I do want to encourage people first, and just make a slight correction. Even though my uncle put drumsticks in my hand when I was 2, I would love to say that, I started when I was 2 years old. Honestly, he put those sticks in my hand when I was 2, and my mom and dad got me a little drum set, but I broke it. Yeah, I broke it.
Right, like a normal 2-year-old though.
Yeah, I really got started when I was 11. I joined the I got my snare. I joined the elementary school band. I was a little bit of a geek, a little bit of a nerd. Well, still am. I'm just a 6'7" nerd. But I picked up the drums really around 11. That's when I really got started. But for people now, I would say if you want to learn an instrument now, just go ahead and start.
Nice. Yeah.
There's so much material out there. YouTube is really a university, and you can learn anything you want to learn. Like, I recently picked up the bass guitar a few months ago. And I'm moving along pretty fast, and the next one I'm going to hit is going to be the guitar. So
wow,
I'm kind of even now I'm just expanding my musicianship just to be a better all-around producer. I think that anybody that wants to be a producer, they owe it to themselves to put in the work, and that's the only way you're really going to get ahead. Part of it is who you know. Another part of it is the relationships you develop from who you know. But at the end of the day, you need to have some solid skills behind you, and the more tools you have in your toolbox, the better asset you'll be, and the more instrumental you'll play a role in sessions that you'll be involved in.
Dope. Nice, man. Nice. Well, thanks for that advice. It's so simple. I mean, when you gave the answer, I was like, why'd I even ask that question? But it's not so simple, so some people often overlook just getting started. They want to find something more complicated to it. All right, man. Well, thank you for that. That's the other thing that I wanted to say was you had somebody with you to show you the ropes when you first got started. You know, I think that's pretty big. I know somebody like myself, I didn't, you know, I just got an MPC and just went at it by myself. No YouTube, no nothing. Just, you know, put my head down for whatever 6 to 8 hours a night and just went at it. How much did that help you with your cousin there showing you the ropes, just every, you know, step by step?
Well, he gave me a nice little launch pad, but trust me, just like you were banging those hours out, I had to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was pretty much an instruction. Okay, this is how the program works. This is how you can make a beat.
Right.
I'll go do it.
Right. He showed you. He showed you the road, but he didn't necessarily take your hand and walk you down there.
Right. He pointed me in the right direction. It was up to me to walk the path.
Right. I got you.
I think that's some things that people they may misunderstand and they may not get. You can have all the help you want. You still have to put the work in for yourself.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Just like, you know, they're saying you can't have somebody else do your push-ups for you. You know, you gotta put that work in yourself if you want to see the results. So.
Right.
Okay. All right, man. Well, you said the first piece of equipment or software you had was that Reason 2, right?
Yep, Reason 2.0.
And you still rocking with it?
Yeah, I'm Reason 10.3 now.
Wow, man. You're in it for the long haul.
Right.
That's what's up, man. I mean, well, Reason must be treating you right. I mean, there was everybody that uses Reason loves Reason, but the one setback to Reason that I always heard was that you couldn't use outside VSTs or plugins. That's changed now, of course, but so I mean, it must have been good for you to stay.
Yeah, because trust me, I had the MPC 2000 XL. I still have that. Nice. I have the MPC Touch 2. I have Ableton. I have Push 2. I have Machine, the MK2, and also have Complete Ultimate 10 still.
Nice.
So I've experimented with other DAWs, and with Reason getting the VST feature. Mm-hmm. That kept me on board because I was almost about to jump ship.
Right.
But glad I stayed.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's what's up. Well, I mean, that's cool. You didn't limit yourself to one thing. You got many options when you're in that studio.
Right. Again, I'm just trying to increase my tool set, so no matter what session I end up in, I can add value and get down. If it's whether it's Logic, Pro Tools, I think it's a worthwhile investment of time to learn these DAWs. Now, I'm not saying it's easy because there's plenty of times I'm trying to learn it and I'm like, I'll just try to make a beat and I'll just close it up and just go back into Reason. So I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah, I know how that goes, man. All right, man. Well, when you first got started making beats, when you were on Reason version 0.2, who were some of the producers that inspired you? Who were the ones that you said, I want to make a beat like this person, or I want to be just as good as this person later on?
Producer who inspired me then when I was starting, definitely the Neptunes, Timbaland. Nice. That VA vibe was super dope to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just Blaze and Kanye, like those four at that point were very inspirational to what I, especially being a drummer, especially what Timbaland was doing with his programming.
Oh, yeah.
And people he had under him. I was the guy that was I was at the lunch table ciphers back in high school. I wasn't the one rapping. I was the one beating on the table.
Dope.
Nice. Brushing. I had the rhythm section going for the ciphers, so
that's dope.
It was mainly those four, and Teddy Riley too. Earlier, before I started producing, just what Teddy Riley was doing with that New Jack Swing, that was so dope to me when I was a little kid.
Yeah, for sure, man. There's a lot of VA vibes going on there, man. But yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't really appreciate Teddy Riley until later on. Of course, I knew growing up, how influential, I didn't know to the full extent of how influential he was until later on. Of course, I knew Guy and Blackstreet, but I mean, now you look at his resume and I couldn't believe all the stuff that he did. But man, major shouts out to Teddy Riley, because man, he's like you said, he had his own genre, his subgenre. Not too many people can say that.
Right. I got to shout out to Bad Boy Hitman too.
Nice.
As well.
Mm-hmm.
even Wu-Tang when I was a little kid, just what the RZA was doing, just those sounds were pretty nuts, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay.
Being a church kid, I had to sneak and listen to music on the radio. So
right. Oh man, that's what's up, man. Well, here on Beats Grinding Life, man, this is the portion where, you know, I try to make it tough on the producers. I try my hardest to take you down that road that no one really likes to go down. You know, right now we're going to talk about failures and setbacks, and so I just want you to tell me a major failure or setback that you had in your career that you were able to bounce back from. There's a lot of producers listening, like myself, that have had some times where we just wanted to just put our head down and just question whether this is for us. And maybe your story can help somebody out listening and maybe put them on the right path.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I definitely have a story. It's not so much a failure, but it definitely was a setback for me.
Okay.
This is probably a little bit after I got my first placement. It wasn't a big thing. It wasn't on a big major, but it was definitely on a label. But probably a year after that, had a song stolen. And it was definitely a Billboard record. If I mentioned the name, you would know exactly what song it was. And
wow.
It was definitely heartbreaking, and that for me, it went from music being a primary goal, and it just kind of shifted down to a hobby for me at that point, because we tried to pursue it legally, and the producer who, you know, stole the record, he wasn't no small fish. He was definitely a mega producer.
Right. Damn.
If I dropped his first name, or if I dropped his nickname, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. It wouldn't be no second guessing.
Right.
You know, we had a conference call with this producer trying to straighten it out. We just couldn't do it. The lawyers at the time, you know, they had a conflict of interest because of who this person was in the industry, who their clients were.
Oh.
It would have cost us a whole lot more money to pursue it, and at that time, I just didn't have it.
Right.
So that was a little bit disheartening to see that record do what it did, knowing that, you know, me and my team, we played a vital role in that record. I mean, the hook, the melody, everything. Oh,
yeah, I was gonna ask you how much got stolen. If it was just a beat, but it's oh man.
Now we wrote a record for this producer's brother, who's also a producer, and at the time he had an unfortunate family incident, so we didn't really pursue it any further. But towards the end of that year, my cousin called me up and said, "Yo, man, turn on the radio." He's like, "Yo, this is your record."
Wow.
And it sure enough was. So we were a little bit disheartened. You know, me and my cousin did the beat. My other cousin wrote the song. So that was a slap in the face, and that definitely took me off of my musical journey. So I really fell back for a while. I wasn't really all in anymore. But Amazing SB from iStandard, he just was just shooting me a random DM about participating in the producer showcase throughout like all of 2016. I was just kind of ignoring it because I'm like, what the heck is this? I don't know this. What? Because I started getting serious about music again, and then he started DMing he off of a post that I put up with some of my music playing.
Okay.
I said, you know what? All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and get out there and see what happens. So I stopped listening to the radio. I stopped paying attention to what was going on. I just like fell back from listening to anything new. I just was listening to what I wanted to listen to.
Right.
I got in the showcase, and I got some interesting feedback on my first showcase. It was like, yeah, that's a dope 06 Tank record. So it was like a backwards comment, but saying music's good, but it's old.
Right.
Like, all right. So of course I was nowhere near won that showcase. You know, my scores were, just a slightly above average, but the type of DNA that I have, I'm not going to, get upset and get on my high horse and get mad. Like, okay, well, if you feel that way, I'm just gonna dial back in and come back better.
Dope. Nice.
So that's what I did. And fast forward, a lot more relationships later. Won about 6 showcases in multiple cities, and built some great relationships, and got back on track here. So
nice, man.
Music's better than ever, and the inspiration is stronger than ever.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Well, I'm glad that you were able to do an about face, man, after taking that punch to the gut, man. I mean, that's all I could think of, is when you said that you heard your song on the radio as a punch in the gut. I mean, that's the only feeling I would have thought of, man. And I couldn't even imagine just your blood, sweat, and tears go into your art form, and then somebody steals it, and you see somebody caking up off of it. That has to be, like you said, the word that you used, disheartening. I think a lot of people would have, like you said, tuck their tail and just maybe giving up, or maybe not taking it as serious and just a hobby. But was it the Amazing SB? Was it him hitting you up that made you serious about it, or you started getting serious before?
I started getting serious slightly before, but to the point where I am now, it was definitely participating in the iStandard Producer Showcase, because it got me around other inspired individuals who are just as passionate about music as me, and even more so pushed me harder to do better and to be better and really perfect my craft and perfect what I'm doing, perfect the be accountable for the time that I'm putting in to get better and to stop making excuses. Really suck it up and dig deep. So that was definitely instrumental in stoking the fire.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing that, man. I mean, everything that you just listed off is just some of the positive attributes that come with being around other people, and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And so thank you for sharing that, man. I mean, I know you're in Bounce Gang. All of you guys are pretty dope producers, and so it just seems like it'd be impossible not to be inspired when you're around some of those dudes. And so can you kind of speak on the importance of that for a producer?
Oh, it's vital. I think that's the best word to describe that is to say that having a network of like-minded individuals is vital to your success, not just producer, but in life. You got to be around like-minded people that have aspirations, that have dreams, that are willing to work hard. Now, everybody can't do the same thing, so you may need to surround yourself with with people who fulfill different pieces of that pie.
Right.
Somebody who's always inspired, somebody who's always getting their hands dirty, ready to work. You always want to put yourself in a situation where you're not the smartest person in the room.
Nice.
So you want to surround yourself with people who are assets, not liabilities. And I don't want to sound like it's coming off of being a jerk or anything like that, but you can't really afford to waste time if you're talking about friendships is one thing, but if you're talking about being a producer, then that's more business than anything. So you got to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are about business and people who bring value to the table, not just leech off of you.
Nice,
that's Bounce Gang. That was formed at an iStandard event.
Right. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Everybody from Bounce Gang is part of the iStandard family. And we all participated in the Beast of the Beats competition that iStandard has at the end of the year. And that's we all came together, and it was very organic too. That was a beautiful thing about it. Over almost a year and a half in existence, and there's we have 30 members that are worldwide.
Wow.
And everybody has the same dream, the same passion. We all support each other, and it's just getting bigger and better every day.
Dope. Nice, man. That's what's up, man. I love hearing that story. I think I've heard it 3 times now, and every time, man, I just smile. I love it. I always admired the Texas guys. They linked up, they formed up, and and they have a big network in Texas. When I say Texas guys, I mean like Reezy Tunes, Sick With It, and Nate and Charity, and I'm not even gonna try to keep going because there's too many to name. But then you guys have taken it on a whole nother level where you guys are worldwide, you know, and so I admire that as well, man. And I just want to say, Bounce Gang, I'm rooting for you guys. You guys keep going, and man, I'm just observing from afar and just rooting from afar and being a big cheerleader. So,
we appreciate the love. I tell you, we definitely do.
Nice. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, thank you for sharing that that setback, excuse me. I know that's kind of hard to share, but some of those stories are necessary, man. It helps us grow as individuals, and I'm sure it helped you grow. But now we're going to hop on the other side of it, man. I want to know, what's the greatest moment that you've had in your career thus far? And you've had some pretty big achievements, man. So I'm waiting to see what you got for this one.
Man, it's hard. It's really hard to pick one because I value every landmark as a great achievement.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'll probably say my first placement.
Nice.
My first placement, and it wasn't I landed a record with Jay-Z. It was nothing like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was the opposite as far as the impact was concerned, but it's the fact that I got a placement.
Right.
That let me know, and I could do this thing.
Who was your first placement with?
That is with a label called Cross Movement. I don't know if they're still in existence today. We're going back at least 12 years,
wow.
maybe 13.
Mm-hmm.
And this is right before I had the incident where we had music stolen.
Right.
So right after the first placement, then I got a record stolen.
Right.
So highs and lows in a very short time.
Yep. Well,
that let me know that I could do this thing.
Yeah.
My first placement came with me being invited to my first grade A level studio to sit in for the mixing session. So I really got a taste of being on an SSL board.
Wow.
Actually being there, not just seeing the picture.
Right.
So for me, that was an achievement. That's this is when Scratch Magazine was still around.
Yeah.
So you're looking through Scratch Magazine, aspiring to be a producer. You see these producers in these big studios with all this equipment. Like, man, one day I'm gonna get there, and I actually put myself there. So for me, that was a great achievement to finally hit that mark, and that was a check that I could do this thing.
Yep. And all that hard work is paid off. That's dope, man. That's dope. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, you can do this, and you're worthy, and now let's see what's next. Unfortunately, what was next was your beat getting stolen, but I mean, that's just another confirmation that you're dope, that you're a dope producer. If somebody is still in your work, then you're obviously talented enough to be on the billboards if that song made the billboards. And so just all kind of signs that you're a great producer.
Oh, thank you.
All right, man. Well, I want to know, what does a typical day look like for you? They often say you want to model yourself after ones that you admire and ones that are doing great things. And so we want to know, what does your day look like? And maybe we can take bits and pieces of what you do and apply it to what we do, and hopefully get on your level.
Well, if I'm not creating, like I'm really focusing on maintaining a balanced schedule. But as a creator, that moves.
Mm-hmm.
You pulled in for a session here, a session there, or somebody may need this or need that, so you got to shift things around. But for the most part, if I'm not creating, I'm learning.
Nice.
So right now, I'm really studying mixing, studying aspects of what it requires to be a good engineer. Not that I'm looking to be an engineer, but a better understanding so my music is where it should be at all times, no matter where it's played. I spent a whole day with Amon Jackson, who, by the way, has to be the most phenomenal engineer I've ever met in my life.
Wow.
He's playing he recently just mixed the new Method Man record that my bros Genius beat and Chris Wells produced for Street Gang. So spent time with him to really, understand the nuances of mixing and what really goes into it. So I spent a lot of time doing that. I spend time learning, the bass guitar, keys, chord progressions, just to be a better musician and improving my craft. So as much time as I spend creating a record, I'm trying to find a balance to spend that same amount of time learning the elements of being a great producer, learning musical instruments, learning about different genres, just expanding my palette. So I'm not just hip hop, R&B, soul, gospel. I got to be able to do K-pop. I got to be able to do EDM. I got to be able to do pop as well.
Right.
If I expand to these territories, and that's more people that I can reach, more people that I can work with, more value that I bring to the table.
Right. That's dope,
learning is just as important, or if not even more important, than creating. And also learning about the business itself. It's forever changing, and we got to be ahead of the curve, because it's the creators that get overlooked the most.
Right. Damn,
so I know that firsthand. Took a hard lesson a few years ago, but yeah, education is the main thing. Education, then creation.
Dope,
so that's every day for me. It's really nonstop.
That's awesome, man. That sounds like a great day right there, man. That's what's up. One thing that came to mind is, when you talked about learning about engineering, and you said you didn't necessarily want to be an engineer, but you wanted to learn certain aspects just to get your music to sound the best that it could. One thing that I thought about is also so that you can communicate with other engineers. If someone's mixing one of your tracks down, you have the proper knowledge to communicate with them how you want your sound to be, and maybe what needs to be executed. And then also another thing you said learn different genres so that you can play those genres, and even if you don't play those genres, and even if somebody doesn't, this goes for the beat grinders listening, even if you don't have a desire to play other genres, you can at least listen to other genres and then take elements of that and bring it back to what you're doing into your music. And so that's a dope answer, man. I love it, man. Learning and creating, and so yeah, it don't get no better than that for a producer, man. So that's what's up, man.
Awesome.
How long are you using, or how long are you usually creating?
In a typical day?
Yeah.
Until my brain shuts down. Yeah, that's the honest answer. You
right.
know, sometimes it'll be long, sometimes it'll be short. It really depends on the vibe that I'm on. I try not to force anything. If I feel like I'm getting stuck, I step away. Because the worst thing you can do is force it, because it's not going to be right.
Right.
It's going to sound forced. Things aren't going to transition well. You know, so sometimes I'll finish the track completely out. I have the idea fully vetted. It'll be ready to go. Sometimes I'll have a skeleton. Sometimes it'll be 75% of the way, and I just have to come back maybe a day or so later after I give my ears a break. Because ear fatigue is a real thing.
No doubt.
So it's never a time limit. It's just really until the creative juices are done.
Nice.
And then hit the reset button.
Okay. I like that answer. All right, man. Well, this next portion is called In the Studio. I can't see your studio right now. I would love to be in your studio and creating music with you, and I'm sure everybody listening would love to do the same. We can't, unfortunately, so that's why we created this portion where we get to find out what you do in the studio, how you do it, and yeah. So I want to know, man, what do you do when you first start creating beats? When you first start crafting beats, do you have any kind of ritual or anything? Do you like to, before you turn on the machine, do you like to turn on some lights, or do you like to spark up, or is there anything that you do?
I got a couple lava lamps.
Okay, nice.
I try to, just have that vibe, dim the lights down. I don't spark up, so no, that's not part of the ritual.
Okay.
I got friends that try to peer pressure me into it all the time. that's not part of my ritual. No.
Okay.
Usually I just try to find some type of vibe in mind. I've really been in like a soulful vibe-ish place, like my chords. I just been there for a second. But it really depends. The mood can shift. Sometimes I might want to get ratchet. Sometimes I'll be laid back. But try to set the mood first, turn the machine, and just whatever comes out that day, that's what I start with. I rarely create with an artist in mind.
Nice.
My mind doesn't work that way. I really go by whatever mood that I'm in, and sometimes I'll be in the middle of a beat and I'll completely switch it up mid-beat and change it to something completely different. I'm by emotions, really, how I feel that day. Maybe it's something I seen on TV that inspired me to create. Maybe it's something I saw outside. Maybe I'm just listening to the wind blow and I get an idea. It really comes from anywhere, honestly. I could look at a blanket and see a pattern and get an idea from that. I draw from what I see around me.
Nice. Okay. All right. What's a not so secret weapon you have in the studio?
Not so secret weapon. Probably my Apollo Twin.
That's a good answer right there. That's what's up. Okay. How long have you had that?
2 years.
Okay.
No, I had a little bit longer than that. I think 3.
And you definitely noticed a change in your sound after using that?
Oh yeah, especially recording vocals, because this is Apollo Twin Duo, so it can handle a lot more. And I love the plugins that come with the universal audio. They're pretty solid.
Damn, nice, man. Yeah, from what I hear, it's unmatched. Okay, all right. Well, what else do you have in your studio besides the Apollo Twin? What's all in your arsenal these days?
All right, I got 2 bass guitars, a 4-string and 5-string. Got electric and an acoustic. I'm not playing those yet, but actually I did. In fact, on the new beat tape that's coming out May 17th, you want to get on an electric guitar for the first time ever in life.
Really, that was your first time, and it made the album?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just strummed a couple chords. Made it work.
Okay.
I got my JBLs in the sub. I got my Yamahas, my H5s, the smaller ones. I have the Machine MK2. I have Ableton Live. I have Push 2. I also have Pro Tools, which I'm still learning that, because it always pays if somebody can say who can engineer, and you can raise your hand. So that's a good way to get into a session if
Yep.
As far as controllers are concerned, I have a Panorama P4 by Nektar, which integrates flawlessly with Reason.
Wow.
I have a iPad Pro that I have Beatmaker 3 on with a X-Key 25, so I'm portable. I also have a MacBook Pro that has everything on it as well too. What else I got?
Damn.
I got a Bluebird mic.
Okay.
Got a Audio-Technica turntable, which I don't. The crazy part, I got it because I do got a couple classic records, but I don't sample off of it.
Right.
I've never sampled off a turntable before, even though I still have my MPC 2000 XL. I have a MoFat sound module.
Jeez. Wow, man. Wow. That's that's a ton, man, that you got up in there. It sounds like just producer heaven up in there. I don't even know where I would start. I mean, of course I know where I would start, where I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with the machine and the MPC, but I mean, where do you usually start? Is it Reason, or does it even some days it just depends on what you're feeling, or how do you navigate?
99.9% of the time I'm starting Reason, only because I've been using it since 2.0.
Right.
Like that Reason is the one DAW I can create in my sleep. Probably I can sleepwalk and make a beat in this program because I know it inside and out.
Dope.
And that's the that's a double-edged sword because I'm so comfortable in it.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I move, so I don't never go to another DAW.
It's your crutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get flexible, but it's like it's a bad example. But it's like that first girlfriend, like for some reason you just keep going back. That is so horrible. That's a horrible example. That's a horrible example.
But
that was like the first thought.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. We all get what you're saying. Yeah, we won't even elaborate on that, but I mean, yeah, it's just a comfortability thing. But I guess what I'm trying to, well, I mean, I don't even know why I'm pursuing this even more, but I mean, so like, when do you get on the Push 2?
Rarely. I look at it and I turn it on, and then I just turn it off and go into Reason. I barely used it. Like my buddy Sound Junkie, who's one of the Ratchet guys. Mm-hmm. I told him the same things. Like, all right, dude, man, I'm coming over because he's an aficionado with Ableton and the Push 2. He does it in his sleep.
Wow.
I'm like, man, I have it. I just look at it and I just, to my shame, I just turn away, just go back into Reason.
Well, I mean, if anyone is going to teach you how to use the Push 2, I think Junkie would be a great person to show you, man. That's crazy that he's that well skilled on it. I mean, I think it hasn't been that long since he's been on it because he was on FL for a while, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, he's just amazing anyway. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't surprise me. So,
which reminds, I got to call him after our call. So, thanks.
Nice.
I got to call him.
That's what's up, man. All right. Well, this next portion is called In the Mix, and we're just going to speed things up a little bit. I'm asking some quick questions. You give me quick answers. It's like rapid fire. But if you need to take your time and elaborate on an answer, man, we don't mind at all.
All right.
Want to know, man, samples or no samples? I think you already went into this.
Both.
Oh, nice. Both.
I have no argument against either one. I do both.
So what are you sampling?
Now I'm actually sampling my Bounce Gang teammates.
Nice.
They'll send some stems over. I'll chop them up, make them into a record, and we'll collab on it. Matter of fact, a lot of my features on the next BDP are from my Bounce Gang family.
That's dope.
So you'll see them all over this project.
Nice. Okay. All right. What's your opinion on selling and leasing beats online?
That was a tough one for a while, but I finally resolved the issue within myself, at least. If you have the audience for it, do it.
Nice. Okay. A plugin that every producer must have in their arsenal.
Neutron 2 by Isaac.
Nice. Okay. A book that you think every producer should read, and it doesn't have to be music related.
Well, I'm reading this book now that was recommended to me by Brandon Graham called No More Excuses. It's by Tony Evans.
Okay. I never heard of that one, but that sounds like one that I probably definitely need to pick up.
Yeah, it's talking about getting rid of that loser's limp. And if you're not familiar with what that loser's limp is, you see it all the time when an athlete goes for a pass, or a receiver goes for a pass and misses. He falls back and he gets up limping, or a basketball player misses a layup and he falls and he comes up limping and limps off to the side. Just to say that's the excuse. That's why they missed the play or missed the pass, because they pulled something that that's called a loser's limp. It's called mainly focus on being accountable,
right?
Owning your mistakes and not living in your past, but letting your past go, living in the present, and living for tomorrow, and just being the best man that guy wants you to be.
Wow, that's
so,
awesome. So
far it's a pretty great book.
Okay, damn. Well, I'm definitely gonna look into that one. That's what's up, man. Well, thank you for your recommendation.
No problem.
All right, beat grinders, you guys know more than anyone else that readers are leaders, and the ones that usually keep educating themselves in their field of choice are usually the ones that are the leaders of the pack. So you guys go over to beatsbooks.com and go get No More Excuses for free through Audible. Go sign up to go get your free gift of 2 books and a free month. At the end of the month, you can cancel and keep your 2 free books. So once again, you guys go to beatsbooks.com, go pick up No More Excuses by Tony Evans. All right, man, is there an internet resource that you use that you think every producer could benefit from? And when I say internet resource, I mean like a website like YouTube or a mobile app like Google Calendars.
I'm going to YouTube hands down, because everything you want to learn is there. There's so many tutorials and how-tos that are out there right now. All you have to do is just not be lazy and invest the time to learn, and you can learn anything you want to know about.
Nice. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna skip over this next question because we already went into full length into it, and it's what was your first placement, and can you describe the feeling? And so I think you already talked about that when you talked about your biggest accomplishment.
Right.
Okay. Well, what's your favorite song you ever produced?
My favorite song I've ever produced is called About Me, and that's by DS Quattro featuring Young Steph, and that's actually going to drop this fall.
Okay. Nice. That's what's up. Yeah, I got to get into DS Quattro. I've been hearing his name a lot here lately, and so I think there's a few other guests that I had that had placements with him. So,
bruh, he is a monster.
Okay.
As far as MC, a rapper,
really,
he's tough. The funny part, I met him at an iStandard showcase, and I didn't know him, but he performed. He performed at one of the showcases. I was like, yo, this dude is special.
Wow, like that? That's crazy.
Yeah, man. And ever since then, I introduced myself, and we've been bros ever since.
Nice, man. I think 750 did something for him.
Yeah, he did.
Mistaken.
Yeah, me and 750 Sound Junkie, we were all on the same project together.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Okay. All right, man. What's an album that you recommend that you think every producer should listen to, besides one that you worked on, and why?
I have 3. I can't pick one. I got 3.
I understand that. Okay.
So 1, Jay-Z's Black Album.
Nice.
Kanye West College Dropout. And Michael Jackson Thriller.
Ooh, okay. Nice. I love that, man. I love that. All of those have been mentioned on here before, but I want to know why you suggest those 3.
All right, so I'm approaching this from a student's perspective for Jay-Z's Black Album. To have that many different producers come together and make such a cohesive record that you can play start to finish without singing is phenomenal.
Right. Yeah.
Like every record was like a farewell tour. And I remember when that album dropped, it was like, wow, this album is nuts. It was such a roller coaster ride from start to finish. And the sound selection, the artistry, the lyrics, it was just perfect.
Yeah, it was.
That was perfection. Now Kanye's College Dropout was different for me because he was a producer, rapped. And the College Dropout was such a vibe for me. I think I played We Don't Care like 500 times on my CD player when it first dropped. I don't think I made it to the next song for like 2 days.
I can believe it.
It's the way, cause I chop samples up crazy, and I just love the way he did it and how he. Because what I love to do, I love to chop a sample and build instrumentation around it, where it's hard for you to tell where the sample ends and the music begins. Kanye kind of he does that pretty good. Like, okay, is this music or is this a sample that he chopped up?
Right.
He does it. He gives you that bit of genius sometimes.
Yep, where you can't
But
even.
yeah, that album for me, now as a student, from a student perspective, that album was nuts. Just understanding how he sequenced it, and it's just one producer doing it.
Yep.
And he's rapping, so now it's his ideas that are coming out, and that inspired me. With a producer, you can create melodies, and a producer's ear really matters. Look at what Kanye's doing.
Right. Yeah, I think he definitely pushed the boundaries for a sample-based producer on that album.
Right, and just his writing too, because before that, I never thought of a producer actually writing a record or contributing to a record from a writing perspective. Again, I was super young then,
right?
But that was my thought. But to see him do that, I was like, wait a minute, there's more to it than just making the beat.
Nice. Yeah, no doubt. And yeah, he was in his bag at that time too. I mean, you can say what you want about him now, but I mean, yeah, he was definitely in his bag around then. So I wouldn't say it's crime,
he's still on my Mount Rushmore. I'm not getting rid of him. He's still on my producer Mount Rushmore.
Nice. Okay, that's what's up.
So the Thriller, that's just a nine track masterpiece, man.
Right.
Like it doesn't get any better than that. That's just a perfect album for me. And so those three, just as a producer, I would say study those records.
Nice. Dope, man. Well, thank you for those. Those are great recommendations. Beat Grinders, if you haven't heard any of the three, definitely go check them out on beatsgrindinglive.com and AA show notes. I'll definitely provide a link for those. So, all right, man. Well, you mentioned your Mount Rushmore. I'm going to ask you, who else is on that Mount Rushmore for you? You already said Kanye West.
All right, so I got to preface that with, I have my Mount Rushmore, but Quincy Jones, he's a cloud that hovers over it.
Okay.
It's blasphemous to rank Quincy Jones. So Quincy Jones, he just sits over the Mount Rushmore, just hovering. All right. So it's Teddy Riley, Neptune, Kanye, Timbaland. That's my Mount Rushmore.
Wow.
Producers.
Okay. I like that, man. I love that. Yeah, man, you got, I mean, like you said, Quincy Jones, man, I mean, he's just going to be there forever. And he's probably the greatest that has ever done it. And then, you went with Kanye. You already told us he was going to be there. And then you went into your VA vibe again. So with the Virginia producers. And so I love it, man. That's what's up. It's just crazy to me, man, that on almost everyone's Mount Rushmores, man, it's like Virginia is just like is so represented. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you got to remember that Teddy Riley, he went to Virginia for a minute, but he's New York.
Okay.
He's Teddy Riley from Harlem. He Harlem born, Harlem bred. He helped establish that Virginia circle. Don't get me wrong. He went down to VA. And pulled Pharrell and Chad in. Right. So he got Pharrell that record on, was it Rump Shaker?
Yep, Rump Shaker.
That third verse, I believe it was. So he definitely had an imprint on them. But Teddy Riley, he's from NY. I got some honorable mentions, but you only have 4 spots on round.
We only got 4 spots, man. They We're only allowed to put 4 up there, but
exactly.
It's your Mount Rushmore, and if you can fit little faces on there, man, go ahead.
Oh yeah, if I could squeeze a couple little faces on there, I put Just Blaze on there.
Nice.
I put the RZA on there.
Dope.
I put Dr. Dre on there. Now people probably have Dr. Dre on that Mount Rushmore, but for me, he was West Coast and was nothing against him, but the sound that really inspired me came from Teddy Riley, Timbaland, Neptunes, Kanye. That's what kept my inspiration going. So definitely no disrespect to Dr. Dre. He's definitely in a class by himself. And
it's your Mount Rushmore. So if anybody got a problem with it, man, F them.
They can build their own Mount Rushmore.
Exactly. So, all right, man. Well, man, you got the creative juices flowing, man, and I want to keep them flowing. So I'm gonna keep asking you these crazy questions, man. And I want to know what's a perfect studio session to you. I want you to imagine that you were in the studio with one artist of your choice, one producer to go along with yourself, one engineer, and one random person, who are those 4 people going to be?
Man, I'm going to choose Beyonce, Pharrell, Amon Jackson as my engineer, and a random person. I got to see this guy in action in the studio at the ASCAP Expo this past weekend. I'm bringing Sis from I Standard.
Nice. You saw Sis?
This dude, he's a low-key genius, and I really didn't know how dope he really was. But I got to see it firsthand, so I will bring Sis in.
You got to see him make beats or rap?
I got to see him write and rap.
Wow. That's dope, man. That's dope. Okay.
And he did it like it was nothing. He did it like he was just lacing up the sneaker. He was like, yeah, it's like.
So he's been holding out.
Oh yeah.
Damn. Okay.
He's definitely been holding out.
Well, that's what's up, man. I mean, yeah, Sis is just he's a great person. You know, I don't know much about his rapping abilities. I will take it from you. You know, I will take your word. And but you know, I know that Sis, he can definitely provide something in that studio. Just being the person that he is. Amon Jackson, you already spoke on him. Beat Grinders, we already know about Amon Jackson because other producers have come on here and sung his praises. And producer Pharrell, I mean, dude is awesome. Love Pharrell. He can do anything in the studio. And Beyonce, can't say enough about the Queen Bee, man. So everybody would love to work with her, man. And so just knowing what your music sounds like, and then meshing your music with all those people, man, I think that it would be one dope song or EP or album, whatever comes out. So that's what's up, man.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. Okay, well, hopefully, you know, I always say hopefully this comes into fruition. You know, I hope it does for you if this is your dream session, and if not, I hope something really close to this happens for you. So, all right, okay, man. All right, man. Well, I want to know, man, if you woke up tomorrow and you lost everything that you had, but you woke up on this new planet that is identical to Earth, and all you had with you was your knowledge that you've gained over the past few years and $1,000 in your pocket. What are you going to do to restart your music career in the next week? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you, yeah, all of the Bounce Gang is gone, so there's no contacts or anything like that, no equipment, no cloud to retrieve files or to retrieve Reason or anything like that. You're starting over with $1,000.
Does eBay still exist?
Yes, so like, yeah, all of those are still, available or something close to it.
All right, well, I'm going to go to eBay, get me a laptop, because I'm not going to buy it full retail, because that's going to kill my $1,000 budget. I'm going to get Reason again. I'll just get it brand new. That's fine. And I'm going to get me a $100 25 key controller.
Dope. Nice. And then that's all you need. You're on your way from there, huh?
I'm good to go, because I won't even need an interface, so I'm not going to record yet. I'm going to create music. I already know how to do that, so create music and get myself into a situation where I can record somewhere else that has all the stuff that, you know, you need to finish the record out. Nice,
man. Okay, that's what's up. Well, thank you for your answer to this crazy question, man. The reason why I ask it is because there have been people that their equipment malfunction and they have to start all over, and they only have a little bit of money in their pockets, and maybe your answer may have sent them on the right road. Or there's people that want to get into music production and just don't know where to start, and maybe this answer will help them out. So thank you for that answer, man.
No problem.
All right, man. Well, I want to know, what does legacy mean to you? And then when it's all said and done, and when this music thing is over, what do you want your legacy to be?
Well, legacy, it definitely means a lot, because it's your name,
right.
If you think about it, you know, when you're off the scene, because we all have a checkout date, we just don't know when it is. and we want those that are left behind, that are still here after we're gone, to have something good to say about our name, right? Did we have an impact? Did we live a meaningful life? Did we change something for the better? If it's just for one person,
right?
So, from a music production aspect, the legacy I want to leave behind is that, you know, Double A was a great producer.
Nice. Well,
you know, he wasn't a beat maker. He was really a great producer. That's the legacy I want to leave. But as far as just a person, that was just a great person that I had a positive impact on everybody that I came in touch with. I left a situation better than what I found it.
Nice. Dope, man. I'm loving that. I love both of those. You know, I personally don't know you all that well, but just from the interaction that we've had, I got none but great vibes from you. And so, you know, I can definitely say that you've left a positive impact on me. As a producer, I think that you are walking in your legacy now, you know, with the accomplishments that you have, and then just the grind that you have, and the determination that I can tell that you have. It seems like you're going to, that what you have now as far as accomplishments, this is just the beginning, and you're going to take it a lot further, and it looks like you will become that great producer that you're striving to be.
Sorry, man, that means a lot. Thank you.
No doubt, man. No doubt. I mean, you're the one doing the work, you know. And so, yeah, I was talking to somebody about this, you know, when we say legacy, we're like, oh, I want to be the best of this. I want to be, you know, the number one this, the one. But you know, most guys come on here and they just say, no, I just want to be the greatest version that I can, you know, that I can possibly be. And usually the guys on here are living whatever they say that they want to be. And so it, you know, it doesn't fall any short with you, man. You want to be a great producer, and you know, you're on your way to being that, and that inspires me because, you know, I say I want to be a great producer, but then it's like, well, you know what you got to do? You got to put in that work like Double A, or you got to put in that work like Trap Jesus, or you got to, you know, do what these guys are doing because they're living their legacy, you know. And so now it's up to me to do my part to be on, you know, to live the legacy that I want. So, so thank you for that, man.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate your platform. I appreciate you for what you are to the creative community, man. You give us opportunity, you give us a voice. So you're much more of an asset than you may even realize. So I just want to give you your flowers and say how much I appreciate you, and I thank you, man.
Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I've been hearing that a lot lately, and so I think that it's about time for me to start receiving that. You know, I often say no, you know, and I could be bigger, I could be better, and so I think that it's about time for me to start receiving those flowers with joy. And so thank you for giving them to me. I really appreciate that, man.
No problem, bro.
All right, man. Well, we've just about time to wrap it up, man, and I want to know what's the greatest piece of advice that you've ever received? I'm sure, you know, being around all these great people that you are around on the daily, man, you've heard some great advice. And then also, what advice would you have to all the beat grinders listening today?
All right, so the greatest piece of advice I've ever received, it actually came from my brother-in-law a few years ago. I was contemplating going back to school to get my master's.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked me, he said, well, how long would it take? I said, it's going to be 3 years. About 3 years nonstop. He says, look, man, 3 years is going to go by regardless. So you either can start now and look up 3 years and be done, or not start and 3 years later still be thinking about going back to school to get your master's.
Nice.
So I went back and got my master's in business.
That's awesome, man. Wow, that is I love that, man. I definitely do love that. That's dope advice right there, man. What advice would you have for everybody else if it's not that?
It would be exactly that. Whatever you want to do, stop what you're doing that doesn't have anything to do with the things you want to do, do it now, because time is going to go by. Tomorrow's not promised. I lost a couple close friends that were like family to me last year, and I'm not going to check out of here. This is just a metaphor. Check out of here with a to-do list,
right?
Like things I want to do. I want to do this. I want to do that. No, the time is now to go ahead and do them, because you don't know if you'll have tomorrow to do them. So,
wow,
it's not a go turn up, go live your best life. Nah, just the best person you can be, and whatever it is that you want to do that inspires you, go ahead and start doing it. You're not going to be a professional tomorrow, but you'll be one step closer tomorrow than you are today.
Yeah.
And the days go by fast, and 5 minutes from now you're going to look up, it's going to be May 2020, and whatever you've done between May 2019 and May 2020, except waste time.
Nice.
Time is something we don't get back. So whatever it is that you really want to do, start doing it.
That's dope, man. That's great advice. I almost thought about that when you talked about your legacy, and you said we're all gonna check out. We just don't know when, and so it made me think, well, that if that's the case, we have to treat every day like it's our last, and so whether that means go hard on something, or just try to be the happiest that you can be, or give back as much as you can, just do it today. And then, if you get the opportunity to wake up tomorrow, do it again tomorrow. And then, whenever it's time to check out, all of that's going to total up. So that's what's up, man. Thank you for that advice, man. I definitely heard that advice, and I received that advice, and I'm definitely going to take it in and apply it. Sometimes I often have the excuse of, I'm 40 years old, I don't have a placement. And so, should I pursue producing? But like you said, hey, 3 years from now, either I could say I'm 43 with no placements, or I'm 43 and I gave it my best shot, and now look at all the stuff that I have. So,
and Lil Duval got a charting record. He's like in his early 40s,
right,
clowning around,
right.
Smile. That record is charting still. And he made it as a joke. He was joking around just doing his thing.
Right.
So you can absolutely do whatever it is you want to do.
Yep, that's so true. I mean, hey, for a while I was singing "Living My Best Life" for every single day. So shout out to Lil Duval, man. He's definitely making it happen. So
right.
That's what's up, man. Okay, well, if you have any more words for the listeners, man, if you want to let them know what they need to be listening to, what they need to be looking out for, and how to contact you if you want to be contacted, man, please let them know.
Sure. First, I just want to say thank you to everybody listening. I definitely appreciate your ear over the past hour and change, just hearing me talk about myself. So thank you for that. You can reach me on IG. That'll probably be the fastest way to get to me. My Instagram is at IMDouble_AA. That's IM the word double DOUBLE _ 2 A's. And that's my Instagram handle. You can DM me, follow me. I'll follow you back as long as you're not crazy. But that's okay too. My EP, Legendary Defender, is out on all your favorite DSPs. So you can go stream that, check that out. Let me know what you think. I have my next EP, Watch the Stones, coming out May 17th. The pre-order will be available Friday, May 10th. Check that out. Let me know what you think about that. And I have 3 more EPs coming June, July, and August, with an album to follow in September. So
wow.
Stay tuned. A lot is getting ready to go down. I thank you for your ears, and I appreciate you.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. You guys definitely go pick up that Watch the Stones and everything else that he's going to be putting out here in the near future. So Double A is definitely working hard, and Beat Grinders, I know that we're definitely going to support this man and everything that he's doing. So thank you, Double A. Really appreciate you coming on the show, man. It's been an honor.
Absolutely. What I'm gonna send you a private link for the Watch the Stones EP too, so you can
Oh,
check it out
nice.
for yourself and give me your feedback, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No, I appreciate that, man, and I'll definitely give you a speedy response, man. I'll listen to it, but I won't rush through it. I'll listen to it and I'll give you a response, man.
All right, no problem. It sounds awesome to me.
All right, man. Well, thank you, and Beat Grinders, thank you guys as well for tuning into another episode of Beats Grinding Life. Your listens are very much appreciated. If you found this show of any value, which I'm pretty sure that you did, because Double A came on here and he spit some gems for us, please share it on Instagram, share it on Insta Stories, take a snapshot, and just let the world know what kind of good stuff that we have over here on Beats Grinding Life. Tag Double A and let him know how much he's affected you guys. Also tag me as well. Also be sure to rate and review this podcast on iTunes. Give it some love on SoundCloud, on any other platform that you're listening to it on. That only spreads the word and help everyone know how dope Beats Grinding Life is. This week you guys have been mentored by another dope producer. This week you've been mentored by Double A, so you guys consider yourselves lucky for that. And keep making beats, stay on your grind, and live life. All right, peace, y'all.
Here at Beats Grinding Life, we want to thank you for listening to another episode. We want to know, what were your biggest takeaways from this interview? Just go to beatsgrindinglife.com and leave a comment on this episode's show notes page. Also, while you are there, go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just click the little button that says subscribe. If you could, please leave a rating and review. Rating and reviews are the best way to show your appreciation because it helps more people find out about the podcast. So until next week's episode, keep grinding.